So I don't know about you, but the aspect of going outside, dealing with people, going to things that are busy, it's just, listen, it's not for me. And I think the majority of people are going to continue to join in this realm. Why the hell do you want to go out? Why do you want to go to, why do you want to go to events that you spend a fortune on potentially? And let's use sporting events as an idea, right? Imagine you go and spend like $100 for you and another person to go to an event. And imagine the team you go to watch for is awful. Or even worse, imagine that the game is just awful. Both teams missed it. It's just awful. And then you spend all that money for that single event. What's that experience worth it? Yeah, maybe not. You go out to a dinner, you go and try to have a fancy meal. Somebody screws up the food. The chef's weird. The people that are talking next to you are too loud. Maybe there's, an ordeal of some sort that's going on. Maybe you get into an accident on the way to said event. I feel like there's just so many things where I'm like, man, I would rather just stay home. And have you ever seen the Magic School Bus, right? Whatever the hell that show was, Magic School Bus. I feel like there was like more, maybe it was just called the Magic School Bus. And there was that kid Arthur who says, I wish I stayed home today. At the time, I kind of connected with him. I was like, oh, it seems like kind of like the odd one out. And I never really felt like the odd one out per se. But I was like, I like that guy's mindset. And the older I get, the more I'm like, hell friggin' yeah. Anyway, welcome to another edition of XFeed. What's up? My name is Schiller. Been talking about NFTs and all this kind of stuff for a year now. Well, more than a year, but more specifically for this XFeed show. With that being said, if you guys are wanting to support the channel, which is absolutely totally free for what I'm about to tell you, T-Doge, what the hell is going on? Hope you're doing well. I want to highlight that we do the RWA Segments podcast, and they've been phenomenal with supporting me. I really hope that you guys are able to go out and check this on whatever podcasting platform you listen to. Episodes are about 30 minutes long, talking about real-world collectibles and all of that kind of stuff, where like Mario here talking about this Aura ring, which people are going out and paying a whole bunch of money to get this fancy ring where it'll tell you like your heartbeat, your sleeping patterns, all that kind of stuff. Imagine if this ring was designed for something within DeepIn where you're actually able to earn a crypto for buying that ring. Well, on the latest episode, why DeepIn matters and how you can get involved with Scott Fu, former major star within music producing, but over now on the head of growth at Peak Network. So if you're interested in Peak, again, would love for you guys to go check out the episode. You'll learn all about that and all of those other fun things. Phenomenal. Love it. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, we highlighted yesterday. Guys, what's going on with the market? It's looking green today. FTX claims distribution starts on January 3rd, which we know about, but today is January 3rd. Congratulations, guys. We made it to 2025, at least the third day of it. $16 billion to be paid through BitGo and Kraken within 60 days. Largest single capital event since Mt. Gox. Now, I saw this tweet mentioned yesterday. And wanted to kind of revisit it as apparently this is going to be like just in cash. Okay, cool. So I don't know if that means any kind of big sell-offs or if they're going to go buy the market. As you can see here in the last 7 days, of course you can't see because the stupid thing's in the way. Of course you can see the Featureverse launcher in the background. Make sure you guys are playing TTK and all that kind of good stuff. But pretty much everything is looking upwards. Phenomenal. Is this FTX? Is this people feeling bullish? Remember, there's a lot of teams that are still off with the whole New Year's, Christmas, all that kind of jazz. Expect fireworks to come at the end of January is my assumption with all of this. Crypto market cap again. We're soaring. We're flying. We're not watching the High School Musical, but we are watching Hawk Tuah and Pokemon going at it on the timeline. What the frig are we doing? So this is back on the 30th, excuse me. So this is a few days ago, but we have people still bringing up the whole Hawk Tuah thing. Pokemon says the Hawk Tuah girl should be held responsible for losing a lot of people money with the failed meme coin launch. Now, you go check out the comments. Half the people are like, well, Pokemon did like some cookie thing that people thought was a scam. All this, who the hell cares? Doesn't matter. People are just trying to put their names in the spotlight, talking about what the hell ever. Armin, you think Hawk Tuah is kind of hot? Okay, fair enough. But it's just, listen, I don't know. The longer you're around the space, you realize everything's just done for engagement. Where the hell is the value? All right, Kermit says, where the hell is Yuga Labs right now? And this was yesterday. And it's just like a whole bunch of posts. You go through it, it's all retweets. It's all retweets. And what do they do? What do they do today? Of course, I don't have the friggin' thing open. Oh my goodness, what are we doing? Yuga Labs making a comment saying that they are going to be voting in the ApeCoin DAO. This is, where the hell is your post? There we go. Okay, so Yuga will begin voting with 6.9 million of its ApeCoin in the next DAO voting cycle. So if you're new here, what's going on? You have any idea what the hell Yuga Labs and this ApeCoin DAO is talking about? It probably not. But essentially, there was this DAO that was put together and you're able to submit proposals, right? Where I mean, even I could go in and say, hey, I want ApeCoin to sponsor this stream. And I'm going to lay out how much ApeCoin that I would want for that, what I'm going to offer. And basically everybody that holds ApeCoin gets to vote on it. Now, of course, the whales get to really move the market. So the likes of Mochaverse, who has a huge amount of holdings, and, you know, just general people that have massive holdings, or potentially other DAOs that bought into ApeCoin to be a DAO and then make vote. There's a whole lot of people, but basically the problem is that there was such a heavy vote from some of these whales that proposals were getting passed from people that might have not had the best interest in mind, where like somebody got like, I think it was a couple $100,000 worth of ApeCoin to like wrap a vehicle for like marketing purposes because they were like some sort of name that I don't even know if I've heard of. It's like just dumb stuff like that, right? So Eagle Labs saying that they're going to pitch in on certain votes where they're needed. Now, this comes at kind of the same time, and this is a few days ago, but Phil, who actually does a show very dedicated to everything Bored Ape Yacht Club related. So if you're wanting to find out content regarding that, Phil, who's kind of been a little bit more bearish on things, to be honest, but he says, if all ApeChain is only meme coins and NFT projects that mostly go to zero, what's the point? Is that the point? Where is the on-chain sports betting, fun gaming experiences? Just feels like blah with a bunch of hype and waiting. So let me take this notion, right, and let's kind of change it. And we're not going to focus just on ApeChain. We're going to talk about my bags. We're going to talk about other bags. We're going to talk about everything. Okay. So ApeChain comes out. We have Abstract that's about to come out. We have Root Network that's out. We have. We'll throw in IMX. This is kind of like a little bit more recently, but like not really at the same time. But it's something that people have questions regarding certain things. Now, Abstract's a little different because there's not like a whole lot that's launched on it, obviously, because they're only in the testnet phase. If you look at Root Network, there is a couple of like homegrown games. There are some people that are like trying to build it there with different NFT collections and whatnot. But again, it's, you know, it's not this big whole shebang of sorts, right? ApeChain got a lot of attention, whether that's because of the market cap, a lot of people sitting on ApeCoin, a decent amount of people that were around. But then the question comes into like, who's building these things, right? And if a lot of people are saying, oh, the stuff that's coming out on the certain chain isn't great, well, they have how many other chains to pick from, right? Like Base, Ethereum, the ones that we just mentioned, everything else that's potentially not even launched yet that's going to come out. There's so many things out there where I keep advocating for the whole, I think the future is going to be multi-chain. Whoever helps with that is going to be ultimately the winner regarding all of this. But there is so many different questions asked where I feel like we kind of just default go to positive thinking about anything new, where it's, you know, you got to be a little bit more critical about things. And speaking of critical, what's going on with OpenSea? What are we doing, man? Oh my God. So OpenSea puts out this hype thing back in November saying a new OpenSea is coming December 2024. Nah. Why are you always lying? But hey, I don't. Anyway, the point being is, what the hell is this? So I guess there's certain people that have been open for OpenSea 2.0. So there was no updates on anything. They got people hyped up and tried to arguably drive volume to OpenSea over the month of December, knowing that, hey, there's a whole bunch of airdrops that are happening. So remember, there's always an incentive. There's always a reason for things happening. I don't even know anybody that got this early access to OpenSea, but apparently it happened. So there's things that happen that will change your narrative and perspective on things, but really it's like, oh, hold on, what's the extra alignment behind it? Could they have worded this slightly differently? Did they only want to go for mass hype and speculation? 3.3 million views. I don't know. Do with that what you wish. Okay, Stoner Cats. This is an old video. If you guys go on YouTube, you can find it. This is Vitalik Buterin voicing a cat. This was Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher. They put together, this was kind of one of the first really big celebrity crypto projects that actually like came to fruition. They I have like a dedicated video where I go and kind of review some of the stuff that happened and what they said at the time, but there's like a super cut on YouTube. So if you got like 40 minutes later, you're wanting to watch all the episodes of Stoner Cats, you're actually able to do so. You just type in Stoner Cats and there's a whole bunch of super cut videos of that. Kind of cool to see. Okay, so what the hell is going on with the Ripple ecosystem? So on December 27th, a couple days ago, Uphold said 1/1/25, January 1st, 2025. Well, today we're January 3rd of 2025. And I was like, did the Ripple stablecoin thing even happen or what's going on? And I found it, guys. Don't worry. It's only like the 3,000th largest market cap coin. What are we doing? I don't know if like, is this completely right here? where this came, like, I mean, we go and check this out. This started like minting on December 3rd, 53 million market cap. I thought there was going to be a whole lot that goes on with it. And maybe I'm completely naive and I'm going to need some of you to educate me on it. But is it like, okay, so like it's live, but it's not really trading. People don't want it. Like, which, I mean, obviously it's like a stable coin, right? So like, you're not going to, I mean, what are we doing? I have no idea how it's crashing per se, but like, what's going on? Are we waiting for something more major? What's going on? Now, with that being said, I think arguably that we are. And I've been bullish on Featureverse, and I think in 2025, we're going to be rebellious here. I really think you guys got to be looking at what's going on here. The amount of low market cap collections, tokens that are in this ecosystem, comparatively to anything else in the space, that you can spend days researching. Of all the different interviews, of all the different things that are happening around the ecosystem, it's insane. Now, I have put together a playlist. So if you go on YouTube, you type in intro to the Featureverse newbie edition, you'll find me, type in Featureverse Schiller, all that kind of stuff. There's nobody talking about this, by the way. When you go and look on these certain things, like Paul Barron's been hooked up with a couple of different interviews with the team in general. There's been a couple of other content creators that are on like the smaller scale that we've made videos about, but like there's literally nobody talking about it. So it's like either I'm a fish or nobody knows about it and they're going to eventually know about it. Now, with that said, you might be tuning in for the first time. What the hell is Featureverse? Here is their recap in 2 minutes and 22 seconds. I feel like they could have done a better song with this because it feels like the video is like very impactful of certain stuff, but it's like it's kind of a somber song. Yo, DJ, what's going on? Oh, just seeing the chat on the side. Hey guys, hell yeah. Yo, Dowser, what's up? What's up? How we doing? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Get ready for 2025. What do you think about the AI meta? Are you aping into something, Harmony? I mean, I don't really have any hot takes about the AI meta. I feel like somebody asked me before. It's like, how do you catch up in like the markets right now? And I made a comment of like, hey, like if you want to check out a couple of the streams, find out whatever ones you find like the title or thumbnail interesting. Sometimes I do some thumbnails, sometimes I don't. Please click on the video even if the thumbnail looks like ass. But to be honest, it's like, what am I looking into right now at the AI meta? We have all these accounts on X that are posting information about certain things. We have the AI Wayfinder from Parallel that I think looks super interesting with their AI agent world and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, we've been following Featureverse, and they're supposed to be having an AI agent happening through Shen and the team on that component. And it's like, is this just like the hot narrative of the week? Because if we go to 2-3 weeks ago, there was something else, right? 2 to 3 weeks before that, well, it's something else. And it's like, okay, like you kind of keep an eye on things, but you kind of wait to see what fizzles out, what is like major hype at the time, what's like sustainable in a way. So I don't really have any hot takes, and that might sound a little uneducated, and that's fair. Because truthfully, I'm really not. But I mean, I've seen a lot of people talk about this, but it's like, is it just like Agents on X? What are we all hyped up for? Except for the fact that we like AIs. Okay, so John Ray has the thread talking about Damien Hirst. Do you guys remember the currency? Do you guys remember the currency? Where it was a bunch of dots on a paper, but it was from an artist that was recognized. So people spent 26,000 Ethereum worth on these. Look at these. Look at these. And what people were going for. We were like, we like the art. We like the name, the narrative that's built around that. That's all you need. You don't need anything more. Now, what they did do, which was kind of interesting, is you could either keep the digital or you could burn it for a physical print. And I'm not going to go through the entire thread here, but this was something that was major a couple years ago. And it's funny to think that we haven't really had a major artist enter the Web3 space the same way as this. Unless I'm wrong. Because this was a bold move, and it was early. One of the first movers. In 2022, this artist burned artworks valued at $12 million. He was the richest artist in the UK, and thus, this stunt was part of a bigger plan. Here's the full story. In July of 2021, a British artist named Damien Hirst launched an art collection called The Currency. This collection had 10,000 unique hand-painted dotted artworks, each paired with an NFT version, but here's the twist. Now, before we get into the twist, I feel like there was this huge breakdown saying that he hired other artists to help him make this, and so he didn't actually make the dots himself. Now, that might be propaganda. Listen, a little bit of Schiller propaganda here, but I remember that happening a while ago. Okay, the twist. The collectors had to make a choice. Keep the NFT and let the physical artwork be burned, or keep the physical painting and forfeit the NFT version. Whichever version the collector chose, the unclaimed version would be destroyed. The collectors had to decide by July 2022, and 5,149 collectors chose the physical painting, where 4,851 chose the NFTs. So let's pause for a minute, right? And look at this more specifically. When you gave people the option, would they rather own the digital item or would they rather own the physical? Ignore what it is. Ignore what it is for a second. We're almost at a 50-50 split of people wanting either. And I think that's very telling. This means nearly 5,000 physical artworks were going to be destroyed. On October 11th, 2022, Hirst went live on Instagram streaming the event from the Newport Street Gallery in London. He personally burned the unclaimed physical paintings, with thousands of collectors tuning in to witness the unchosen pieces go up in flames. When questioned, Hirst justified it, saying the value of art, digital or physical, isn't lost. It's transferred to the NFT as soon as the physical piece is burned. So why do all this? Hirst wanted to challenge the art world's traditional ideas of ownership, value, and permanence. This was his way of pushing boundaries in an era where NFTs are redefining how we perceive and interact with art. So there's a little bit of a backstory for the the currency by Damien Hirst, and it's just insane to think about like how crazy this was at a certain time. So these pieces are going, at least the digital versions, for $4,000. Holy smokes. Kind of insane. All right, Luca Nets, Pudgy Penguins, are saying we are going to release crypto's #1 mobile game, and it will shatter every crypto gaming record there ever was. I feel like the bar is kind of low on that. Am I wrong with saying that? I feel like we've still been at a place where like crypto gaming, all this kind of stuff. What is it? Like we have like 2 million players or something in the span of like a month that are doing crypto games. I don't know like the actual stats. I need to look up DApp Radar and find that out a little bit. But I feel like the numbers aren't as high as we think. And when people say like, hey, gaming's really not being paid attention to, I kind of agree with that. Okay. So there is an insanely long thread. We're not going over this, but 6529 says on so few NFTs, so many NFTs. Are NFTs the scarcest assets in the crypto universe? Are NFTs an endless, no barriers to entry stream of good, mid, and worthless tokens? Buckle up. This is a long one. And so this goes on a thread. I haven't read it, to be totally honest, but I saved this post from Raoul Paul because it just gets the idea. Exceptional. It does miss the fact that the number of crypto wealthy will go up exponentially, and that creates even more demand than anyone yet understands. Yo, Unar, what's going on, brother? So I agree with this wholeheartedly, right? If we come into money, right, and I say we as people that are in crypto, generally it goes up. You feel like, hey, you know, you have a little bit of extra to spend. Not too shabby. What are you going to go and buy? I mean, if I find an airdrop or something, I end up buying another crypto. I end up buying other NFTs, right? I look at that more than I look at anything else. Okay, sure, you have your, daily lives. If you're going to buy something expensive, you do you, 100%, 100%. But once you acquire all that, I mean, it's crazy. What do you think of the amount of people with money? And to go back today, because I wanted to have a huge rant. I didn't start the stream off in the right way, but listen, like I was freaking heated today. So listen, let me go back to let me go play this video for you right quick, right? Let me play this video. So I'm just going to shut up and play. Yo, what's going on? So going out today, right? The amount of people that are honking your horns over literally nothing, trying to let somebody in, bursting behind, start flooring it. There's people everywhere. Everywhere's packed. I'm just saying, I love spending time online. It's the future. The metaverse? Listen, you're not bullish enough. Because holy smokes, there's too many people. There's too many people. But the point being, right? Like, so I'm out. The mall's packed. The roads are packed. Every restaurant's friggin' packed. People have so much money. People have so much. Well, I'm going online and people are like, this is going to be the greatest recession ever. We're going to have an economic collapse of a century. Are you stupid? Go outside, bro. I mean, the people writing these things must be like doing what I do. We're sitting inside and don't want to go outside. And sure. Okay, sure. Let's use the excuse. Guys, everybody's got the Christmas money, holidays, seeing the family, all that stuff. Okay, dude, but either way, like the amount of money that's out there is insane. And the more this transparency thing, you're like, oh wow, the people that have like decent amount of money, holy crap, they have like a lot of money, right? And where are these people that have that kind of capital that are, becoming obsessed with this internet culture where we're all connecting on Web3? Like, look at all of us right here. Look at this. We got DJ McEnergy. We got Douster. We got friggin' Hoonsy in here. We got Harmony T-Doge. I don't know if all of you guys are still here from typing in the chat. The people that don't want to say anything, what's going on? How are we doing? Right? But we're hanging out. We love this kind of culture. We're interested in this stuff, right? Like, Matt, you can do anything you want right now. You can do anything you want right now. And we're here talking about NFTs and crypto. You can go watch sports. You can go have a nice meal. You can go for a walk. You can better your life. But instead, we're here. Well, I mean, maybe this is bettering your life too if you find enjoyment out of this. I really hope you do. But it's all about like the perspective of things. And I'm wildly bullish. Listen, the gloves are off in 2025. The gloves are off. Okay, so going back to some different articles that popped up, GamesBeat had this one calling Why Yatsio believes 2025 will be the year for real blockchain games. So it goes back to the crypto gaming thing, right? How long have we talked about like, oh, this is going to be the year for crypto gaming? And how many years have you been wildly disappointed? Every single one of them. True. But again, most of the stuff was off speculation, right? We've seen massive team changes across the space. And like, not to single out like a specific game or anything, but like Guild of Guardians, right? So they were one of the first teams to have like a massive NFT sale early before the game even launched. And I got into that. I bought like a couple of the guild tokens. I bought a bunch of the characters and was like, this is great. And then they completely changed the entire game. And I remember the person that I thought was leading the game, I asked them once like about like, oh, what's going on with like the guild tokens and like trying to like get justification of like why I'm holding this. Cause I'm like, it's not really been made clear. And this was like months or years after it happened. And I didn't even get like a remotely acceptable answer where I'm like, I don't know if these guys know what they're doing at all. Right. And so we've had so many things that people trying out, they've gotten major backings of things, and it just completely failed on several fronts. Now, Guild of Guardians is still out there, it's still doing fine, but it's not hitting major numbers or anything. Like the way that it was hyped up, all the stuff, the amount that they raised initially, a lot of things changed. And that's totally fine. That's totally fine. We can say the same thing for a number of different collections out there. But like, is 2025 actually going to be the year, or are we still talking a bunch of fluff? You know what I'm saying? Multi-windows open, emails, TTK, Schiller, Discord, and I'm on holiday. Listen, we love being online. Facts. Went to the mall yesterday, was packed, but didn't see a lot of people with bags. Not sure they all spending. Okay, listen, maybe they're at the mall looking for a little bit of a social interaction. Maybe they're trying to find their community. Now, is your local mall necessarily the best place to go and find a community of similar interest? I mean, I'd argue with that a little bit, but still. Oh, Hoonsy, I didn't see you. Buy Shacaronis. Hell yeah, my brew of coffee. Have you heard about Pirate Nation? Looks like they will add AI into their game. I think everybody's going to add AI into their game. I have heard about Pirate Nation though. I think I played like their tutorial and it was like, it was not bad. It was not bad. But again, like for all these different games, right? We hear about whatever you're interested in. And I talk about what I'm interested in. You guys bring certain things into the chat where like Harmony, Pirate Nation, phenomenal. Love it. But what's going to be that catalyst to make, like, we'll use the Pirate Nation thing for me to be like, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to try this game that Harmony mentions. Or if I mention something on here, what's going to make you, right? I'm speaking to all of you, what's going to make you go out and try it? Now, Marvel Rivals, however, listen, if you guys play Marvel Rivals, you've seen everybody talk about it. There's huge, I don't even know if it's a marketing campaign versus everybody just enjoying it. You see a ton of people playing it. If you're into playing it in the Schillerverse Discord, holy heck, get down here. Come play with us. We're rocking almost nightly. There's like 6 players to a team. It's super fun. If you like to Overwatch, it's great, right? But I think we have like this huge competing thing within crypto gaming where it's just like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. Okay, so let's go through this article right quick. Let me make this as big as possible. Chainplay reported that 93% of announced blockchain game projects are dead. Wow, that's tough. That's tough. On average, GameFi projects have dropped 95% from their all-time high prices. GameFi projects last only 4 months on average. And 58% of VCs who invested in GameFi lost between 2.5% and 99%. On average, 316 new projects launch each year, but 262 projects disappear, indicating that a significant number struggled to stay afloat for more than a few months. About 88% of projects saw a token drop of over 90% from their all-time highs. So this goes back to the legacy conversation, right? Because newer projects struggling. But then if you're new entering the space, you read that article and you're like, well, hold on. Sandbank or Sandbox, Decentraland, all these things have like tokens that are still, like top 150 or whatever. Well, they're still cooking. They have like some sort of a player base. Well, at least they have something to work with. 93% of blockchain game projects are dead. Guys, what are we doing? But the thing, though, is all it needs is one to be successful, right? Now, to go back to when NFTs really started minting and going crazy, think about NBA Top Shot. So that went nuts. Again, like looking back on that, it's like, why exactly did that suddenly have the impact that it did? Was it like the supply and demand of it? Was it the fact that we had major players talking about it? Because it definitely wasn't that case in the first few weeks, right? Like it took off and it was nuts. But then a little bit more comparable is when Bored Ape Yacht Club minted, right? So that comes out, and that collection performs quite well, which then leads into a whole bunch of other collections minting, being around, and Bored Apes are doing great, and everybody's like, well, I can't afford a Bored Ape. What the hell else am I going to buy? And you try to find whatever else that it is. Because again, people get priced out. But they like the idea of this internet culture. You want to be involved in 9 times out of 10 for all the stuff. You have to have like the NFT to be a part of it. But there's also like very few reasons most of the time to be holding that NFT apart from that community. So we'll kind of see. But I just wanted to highlight that specific thing from it. But Yahtzee being super bullish on NFTs is interesting, saying this is the year that's going to finally happen. And it also says within that article, his company has made 540 investments into Web3 gaming startups. So if Animoca Brands isn't at zero with 90, what was the number again? 93% failing. Listen, you just need that one winner. True. Do you think Penguin will flip Bored Ape? I kind of thought that they were going to before the Pengu drop, and then they did flip it, and I think they've still flipped it. Hold on, I think that already happened because like Pudgy Penguin's 22.5, Bored Ape 15.84. Yeah. So they've already flipped. But I mean, it's all about like the momentum of things too. It's all about the momentum, and they had a hell of a lot of it. So was it the fact that it knew and no one could pull their money out? Oh, you're right. I totally forgot about the security issues. Well, sorry, not security issues. So Hoonsy, freaking legend. So I worked as a referee, or sorry, I shouldn't say work because it was like a volunteer gig. I think they gave us like a couple of packs at the end and was like, okay, thanks guys, goodbye. We're like hiring people for this role now. And you're like, all right, son of a gun. But there was like, I think a team of 3 to 4 people that were in charge of all of their accounting, or I guess we'll call it accounting for lack of a better term. So like everybody that was going through like the KYC process, the ability to offboard, all this kind of stuff, it was like bottleneck to all hell. Like speaking of Top Shot challenges, when you had the bottleneck moment, wag me type deal. So you're right. A lot of users' funds were kind of like trapped in Top Shot and like, well, I can't exit, so let me just put more in because everything is going up. Insanity, insanity, insanity. Okay, so Web3 trends to look for. Key takeaways 2025 could see NFTs return as staples of Web3 gaming as the industry bids to distance itself from play to earn models. Okay, so we've just removed the term play to earn and calling it Web3. I mean, I guess so. Sure, that works. Web3 features as an optional extra or background function could form an important narrative for game development in 2025. It's weird that we had like such a vitriol. We don't like NFTs when NFTs were performing quite well before them, where like now NFTs like kind of don't, wow. I shouldn't say aren't valuable, but like there's a subset of NFTs that are valuable where other stuff like it doesn't, you know, do we have to change the variation of NFTs? And this is, I guess, like one of the first times that I'm thinking about it, because when you say NFT, right, a lot of you are probably going to go for like the top collections out there, but like an NFT means way more than just that, right? Where you have that high valued asset where, okay, well, an NFT is also like a real world asset. So you want to get like a trading card, right? That's graded. Okay, well, that's an NFT. You could get like a $5 one of that, or the $10,000 NFT. But what's going to be the first notion? So do we have to change the verbiage to just being digital assets? I don't know if that'll take off the same way, but we'll see. Telegram's incentivized gaming offering will continue to dominate Web3 mobile gaming. That I can probably kind of agree with. I don't really have anything extra with the Telegram. I don't really do a whole lot on my phone crypto-wise, or like anything. I just feel like it's a huge security risk, so I just like don't do it whatsoever. But I guess like big takeaway on this is like, do we just change the wording of play to earn to Web3 gaming? Because nobody says play to earn anymore. True. 2025 will be the year of AI agents, Web3 exec says. By 2025, more than 1 million AI agents could populate Web3, with staking and trading as likely early use cases, an expert told Cointelegraph. AI agents, the metaverse, the world of people. I mean, why not? But I mean, if 1 million of them come out, that's going to be a big year for anyone that's involved within that. Now, we're going to have platforms that do well. We're going to have platforms that don't do as well. But it's still exciting that we're kind of on the precipice of all this crazy shenanigans. But that's going to be it for this edition of X-Feed. Holy sweet supper on Succotash, Hunzi, Harmony, Dowser. Yeah, we got the DJ up in the house. Thank you so much for coming on through, T-Doge as well. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back on Monday. Again, if you missed the start of the show, if you guys want to support the stream for totally free, if you go check out the description below in YouTube, or if you're on X, if you go check out my bio, the RWA Segments podcast, would love for you guys to check that out. They've been hugely supportive of myself, and so you don't have to do anything except for tune into the weekly episodes. They've been absolute bangers. You want to learn a little bit about DPIN, where you can go buy these different devices and earn crypto for free after you have these devices, whether it be fitness rings, whether it be weather radars, whether it be mapping certain places. There's a whole lot of stuff. Would appreciate the hell out of you guys if you can do that. But Dowser and everybody else, thanks guys. Have yourself a good one. We will talk soon. Peace.